there, YouTubers. Well, if I have put my videos together in the correct sequence, this will be the start of another scarf. And I seem to be on sort of a semi-purple kick. Anyways, I went over to the local yarn store. They also have, believe it or not, weaving and spinning stuff in that store, which is really nice because it's close to home. And was looking for some yarn to make some scarves with. So I bought 2 skeins of this stuff. It's called Brazilian Merino. And they say sweet. I don't know why it says that. Circulo. I don't know what circulo means, except maybe that it's in a skein form. Anyways, there's 328 yards according to this. 100% merino yarn from Brazil. And relatively not cheap, but not ridiculously expensive either. I think it's more of a knitting yarn, but the folks that are at the store said that they think it would work great for weaving as well. So I'm going to try it, see what happens. So I got 2 skeins of this stuff. There, can you see it's Brazilian Merino. The first skein is on the Swift over here. So let's move the camera angle a little bit, and I'm going to wind it into a ball because I think it's easier to work with as I'm doing the putting it on the warping board from a ball form than a big skein form. Well, there you go. That's about as much wound on as I think I'm going to get and still be able to work. So now we'll lower the helping hands to the next position. Let's see, I'll get out of the camera's way. 1. Remove my choke ties. Sounds almost like wind chimes. Alright, it's time to start threading the heddles. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to thread this as if it were a straight twill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But my intention is to actually weave it as plain weave or tabby. Yet just to be on the safe side, I'm going to leave a floating selvage. So out of this first 2 threads, that one's just going to not get messed with. And as usual, I prefer to do this purely with my fingers instead of using some sort of hook. I just feel better about it this way. Can you see the leaf sticks back here? That's because I'm using this helping hand system from Lofty Fibers. They're just a nicer angle and they're a little bit closer to me than they would have been the old way I did it, hanging them from strings. So in that respect, I do like these helping hands, which I reviewed a few videos back. I don't remember how many. I don't know if you can see it real well yet, but this purple Brazilian yarn is somewhat variegated, and it seemed like the dye lots in the 2 skeins I got were a little bit different. One of them was a little bit lighter than the other, so rather than have all of the dark on one side and all the light on the other, I wove from, or I wound, or maybe I should say unwound, the warp using both, using the balls of yarn that I made from both skeins, and therefore I should randomly get the threads or the colors pretty well mixed up, and I think that's going to be better than having them all off center. Anyways, you can see what I'm doing here. There's no point in boring you with just threading heddles. So I'm going to turn the video off for now and get back to you later. Okay, well, the heddles are all done, and now it's time to slay the reed. So we'll just start up with these and get going. This won't take too long. Well, there you guys get the idea what I'm doing. You can see these roughly 12 or 14 threads through the reed. I'm going to just tie a temporary knot under there and turn the camera off and keep going, get the rest of them done. Okay, I think I am ready to start weaving almost. I want to have a little bit more thread through here so I can have some fringes to work with. So just gonna wind up a little bit. Do it Jane's way. Just grab on. Oh, I see. Just a teeny bit. That's a little bit too much. But there, so now I'll go around there. If I start right about here, I should have a lot that I can use for fringe. I'm going to be just weaving this as plain old plain weave, tabby, whatever you want to call it. So we'll go through like that. And we'll put this guy through about halfway, and no, I'm not. I'm going to try not to beat too hard on this too. I know I usually beat really hard, so I'm purposely just going softly with this. Shows up sort of, doesn't it? Yeah. So since I'm doing plain weave, and the outside treadles are the ones for plain weave or tabby. I've got this set up as just a nice comfortable walking treadling. Well, gang, I'm just weaving away at this. I'm about halfway through the warp. So, you can see this. I've noticed again, I see this very often with floating selvages, that depending on whether or not I come in over or under it, quite often the little bit of pull right here, and I don't know if you, maybe if I can zoom this in a little bit. Right here, there's a little bit of pull. As I pull this, it forces a tiny amount of twist onto this floating selvage. And depending on whether or not I always go over and then under, or let's do it a different way. This time I'm going to come through under, then over. As I do that, it imparts a slight amount of twist to the floating selvage, and if I do it the wrong way, I could end up removing the twist from that piece of yarn and making it just straight threads, which then of course removes some of the strength from it. So it's just something that I have to be sure of. Anyways, that is what I'm currently doing, watching carefully which way I go. I've found for now that when going from left to right, I have to go over both floating selvages, and then when going from right to left, I have to go under both floating selvages. And by doing it that way, I leave the twist pretty much as is. But it is something that I've noticed, and it's others of you who are weavers may notice that on occasion too. Don't know. But it would seem reasonable to me that if you use a floating selvage, you need to be careful as to which direction you go around that floating selvage thread or chunk of yarn. So just something to keep in mind, I guess. I certainly am paying attention to it. And I think I've gotten close enough. It's time to advance the warp again. There we are. I'll show you more as I get a little bit farther along. Okay, we're going to do twisted fringes on this scarf as well as on the last one, just like I did. First I'm going to cut the threads off pretty close to evenly. Reach over and drop those little bits into the wastebasket. So these are just a hair over 6 inches long. And we'll start pulling off, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do them just like last time in batches of 6. Hopefully that'll work out right at the end. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does that look like it's going to be enough? Yeah, I think so. See how it's twisting like that when I let loose? That means I think I've got about the right amount of twist in there. We'll know after I do this first one. Yep, that looks pretty good. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going for 30 twists again. Yes, it does. They do get a little bit shorter because of the twist, but that's perfectly good. I'm going to do one more on camera and then turn this off. The next time you see it, it should be done. See, they're still separate right now, but properly twisted. Okay, I'm going to do the rest off camera. Well, YouTubers and weavers, this scarf is done. It is a long one. Again, I like long scarves. So when it's around my neck, it comes down to just below my knees. So let's get a little bit closer. You can see it, and I'll take it off. And when I bought this yarn, I bought 2 skeins of it, and it seems like they were probably of different dye lots because one of them was lighter than the other. And when I was doing the warp, I took threads equally from both skeins, so it's pretty evenly distributed. But when I was weaving the weft, I could only do a bobbin at a time from each skein. So I've got chunks of this that are darker and chunks that are lighter, and then back to dark again. So you can see it's a little bit iffy going through there, but I think that gives it a little bit of character too. So basically I'm real happy with the way this looked, and someone's going to get it as a present. I haven't yet decided who, but that's what we've got for this scarf. This project is done. I'll get on to the next one in the near future and hopefully do another video. But there we are with this one. We'll bring it up nice and close one more time for a nice look. There you go. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff all the YouTubers say. And we'll catch you the next time around on the camera here. Bye-bye.